So today we are talking personal feminine hygiene. Ladies, it is a struggle in the summertime to stay fresh and sugar and spice and everything nice. That is no fun to get our cycles in the summertime, but hey, it happens. It's a part of life and it's something that we have to deal with. Not to mention, if you have some extra fluff on you, you tend to sweat more. So I'm going to show you my personal hygiene routine and what I do to stay fresh and funk free during the summer months. Those of you with combination oily, acne-prone skin know that the summertime is brutal on our skin. I recently purchased a bottle of micellar water. I use this after I've cleansed my face and before moisturizing, and sometimes I won't moisturize it like at nighttime. I've tried not moisturizing my skin and just leaving this on. You don't rinse it off to see what it does, and it really calms the skin. Another thing that I like to use to keep my skin oil-free and matte, especially under my makeup, I've been using this oil-free moisture from Neutrogena. It is for combination skin. When I don't wear makeup, I will still wear it, and it really works at keeping my skin shine-free. A lot of times I will mist my face with a hydrating mist. The one I've been using the most though is this Replenishing Rose Mist by Model Co. Not only does it refreshen my skin and give me a dewy finish, it also smells amazing. So it's just like you're spraying a body spray and facial mist in one. So on to body care. I pretty much shower twice a day in the summertime. I shower in the morning and at night. My shower in the morning tends to be more of a 5-minute shower just to freshen up. A quick in and out, hit your hot spots. Pits, tits, NA or PTA, and I'm out the door. So at night, my bath or shower is going to be a lot longer than it is in the morning. I'm going to shave, do my hair at night. When I shampoo my hair, I will shampoo it in the shower. I basically shower throughout the week, and then one day a week, preferably over the weekend, either a Saturday or Sunday, I will soak in the tub. And I do the old school. You put the vinegar in the water, cap full, or whatever, however much you want. I just pour it until I feel like it's enough. Everything's about pH balance, so that will help to balance your area down there. Anytime you notice an odor in that area down there, something is wrong. Something is wrong, and I highly recommend you go see a doctor. You may have an even bigger issue, so I highly recommend you see a doctor to get treated for that, because a healthy vagina, a healthy vagina doesn't smell. So always remember that. Exfoliate, that's another thing. You want to exfoliate your skin. You can use a body brush, a loofah. I prefer a body brush, or just a plain washcloth. I have a pretty large bust, and if you are anything like me and you have a large bust, we have boob sweat. And to combat the boob sweat, I use 2 products. Monistat Chafing Cream, it's like a deodorant for sensitive areas, because I've done this, if you put deodorant on your boob area, on that skin, it is super sensitive. It will break out, or you may have a reaction to it. I have, so I know. I put it in between my boobs as well as under my boobs. I do tend to sweat, because I'm telling you, they will smell if you do not keep them dry, and that sweat accumulates in there. And once your sweat hits the air, or air hits sweat, it causes an odor. So you want to make sure that you put something in there, or the gel in there, that will help the friction and will help keep you dry. I also like to use this Vagisil deodorant powder, which I use sparingly simply because I wear a lot of black and I don't want the powder, the white powder, to transfer onto my clothes. So I make sure that I rub that in really, really well. I'll put some on my back as well, because you tend to sweat, and more so I tend to sweat on my lower back, so I'll put the powder there. But again, I make sure that I rub it in really well, because I do not want it to transfer to my clothing. When it comes to deodorizing my underarms, I prefer to use a dry spray, like this one from Dove. This is the Sensitive. I tend to use this one because it is unscented. I don't have to worry about the scent clashing with my fragrance. However, when I'm not going to wear fragrance, I use the Beauty Finish one. I really enjoy the scent of this. Note that if you try to spray this in the boob area or anywhere else, it may cause irritation. So stick to using it for your underarms only. When it comes to hair removal, I tend to prefer waxing and shaving over things like Nair. For my underarms, I do shave, and I use this Barbasol Thick and Rich Shaving Cream. It has aloe, so it's very moisturizing, and it gives a very, very nice shave. I've used this for years, and I really like that stuff. The razor that I use is this Gillette Fusion. It has 5 blades, so it gives a really close shave as well as a quick shave. So it shaves more hair in less time. As far as my legs, I will use the Barbasol from time to time, but I really like this D-Fluff by Lush. It's a shaving soap. So when I'm in the bath, I think I tend to gravitate towards this one more so when I'm taking a bath and shaving in the bath. This, you actually stick your hand in and scoop out the amount, but it smells really, really yummy. The Barbasol is like a foam, where this is more like a soap, but I like the way my legs feel. It gives a really, really smooth shave. Moving on to the lower part of the body, I am a wax girl all the way. I do not shave down in my vaginal area, whatever you call it, your vag, vagina, cooch, whatever you call it. I prefer to keep that area bare. I get myself waxed every 4 to 6 weeks or so. But oh my gosh, I recently discovered this new salon in Bethesda, Maryland. If you guys are in the Maryland DMV area, you have to go check this spa out. It's called Sarah Wax Studio. Their studio is dedicated to waxing only. That's all they do there. And oh my gosh, I had the best wax of my life, and I will continue to go back. I personally feel like when you don't have any hair down there, you are less prone to odor. I just feel like it's more hygienic for me personally. In the summertime, when we come on our cycles, ladies, you know it's hard enough dealing with the heat and the sweat and all that, and then you have this pad or tampon, or it's just a lot going on down there in the heat, and it's just like, oh my gosh. So I think the summertime is like the worst time. It would be so nice if we didn't have a period the whole summer and then it continued, you know, into the fall and winter or whatever. But anyhow, aside from shaving and all of that stuff, you want to make sure that that area down there stays as dry as possible. And when you use the restroom, that's another added thing that you have to be concerned with, making sure that you're wiping yourself well enough, because again, once the air hits any of your bodily fluids, be it sweat, urine, whatever, whenever the air hits those areas, you will be prone to odor. During the summer, but especially when you're on your period, and any time to be honest, I keep these in my bag. It's the Summer's Eve cleansing cloths, and these are for sensitive skin. Really live by these. Must keep them in your bag, in your purse at all times. So these are really, really good at keeping you clean. What I basically do is once I use the bathroom, I will wipe with this, and then I will dry myself with toilet paper after. So you want to make sure again that you keep that area dry. When you're on your period, you want to make sure you have the proper protection. I hate wearing pads, I hate wearing tampons, but my personal choice or preference are to use these really thin pads by Always. And they are the ones with the wings to keep your panties protected. And that's another thing. You want to make sure that you're wearing cotton underwear. No nylon. Nylon is not your friend when it comes to summertime. Trust me. It does not absorb sweat and moisture the way cotton does. So you want to make sure that you're wearing cotton underwear. If you like thongs, wear a cotton thong. During, you know, sometimes I will go without underwear. When I'm not on my cycle or I'm not ovulating, I will go without underwear. I have a pretty light cycle. I'm giving y'all too much information, but my cycle's pretty light, so I use these. I can get away with these thin ones. I wear these by Always. These are the little panty liners. I wear these when I'm ovulating. Ladies, you want that area to be wet when it needs to be wet, but other times it needs to be dry. And when it needs to be dry, you want to keep it dry because, again, you do not want to smell like fish cakes. Okay, next subject. I don't care what color you are. I don't care how light or how dark your skin is. I think we all need some level of sunscreen. I do not like sunscreen. Actually, I hate it. And hate is a strong word. I don't like sunscreen. I don't use it. I do not like the smell of it at all. I take a more holistic approach when it comes to sunscreen. I don't like the chemicals and all that junk in it. There's oils that we use, the same oils that we use in our hair. are the same oils that we can use as a skin or sun protectant for our skin. So two of them are that I use the most is coconut oil, olive oil. They are probably the lowest on the totem pole when it comes to sunscreen. They have an SPF of about, I believe, about 8, but I still feel like something is better than nothing. So most times I will mix my oils in with my lotion. So my favorite lotion to use is by Nivea. This is the Essentially Enriched Body Lotion. I have stretch marks in my tummy area, and you know, a lot of times women of large busts, we have stretch marks, or we can get or develop stretch marks on our boob area. So I prefer to use this CeraVe Intensive Stretch Marks Cream to constantly keep those areas moisturized. So wherever you have stretch marks, it's good to keep those areas moisturized to help reduce the appearance of them. And there's things on the market that I believe they may not completely get rid of stretch marks, but they will help to minimize the appearance. Any good moisturizer will help minimize those areas. A lot of women suffer from cellulite. Let's face it, it is what it is. I have a lot of cellulite in my thighs, and to minimize the appearance of it, I like to use this little tool here. It's a cellulite massager. You can find these anywhere almost. So yeah, I use this, and I will use an oil, a massaging oil, or any, you know, natural oils to massage those lumps and bumps out. So I find it to be helpful. It's not a godsend or, you know, a miracle product, but it is handy. It is, you know, I think it does make a bit of difference. And for me personally, I don't care to wear shorts or really like short dresses and stuff because I'm very conscious about my cellulite. But I do again find that tools like this one are very helpful. You can have your significant other massage you with one of these. Lastly, we cannot finish this discussion without talking about the toes, the foot care, and the nail care. We'll bring those in as well. For me personally, I do my own nails. I do not wear acrylics, gels, or anything like that. I do my own manicures at home. But as far as my foot care, I will go to a salon, and my only advice for that is to beware of the type of salon that you go to. Make sure that they have good sanitation practices. Basically, you do not want to go to a salon that does not practice proper hygiene. I personally have had toenail fungus because I've gone to a salon that did not have proper sanitation practices. You could be going behind someone who has foot fungus, has some type of anything, and you do not want to bring that home. It is something you have to combat, and it is not very easy to get rid of. Definitely want to be mindful of that. But yes, we want to have our feet beautiful because you're wearing a lot of sandals. There's no excuse to walk around with beat up feet. And if you cannot afford or just simply don't want to go to a salon, and you, to me, the best way to avoid being infected with some type of infection, do it at home. It's easy. I mean, sometimes I have done them at home, but for the most part, again, I prefer to have it done in a salon because they really get in there. And sometimes I can't do what they do, and I don't have all the tools and stuff that they do. So I want to be fresh and clean all the time, not only for my spouse, but for myself. And that's another thing. Always do smell checks. Like, I don't understand how people can smell and it seems like they don't know that they smell. Like, it's crazy to me. I'm always in there smelling that area. Do a couple of those, you know, put your head between your legs, whatever. Smell yourself, check yourself. And if you need to deal with it, go home and deal with it. Or again, carry your wipes. And these wipes, I'm sure you can use them under the arms, in your boobs, whatever. Deal with it. But don't just walk around and hope nobody smells you. Don't nobody want to smell you. That is so rude. Anyhow, I hope this video was helpful. I know it was informative, maybe a little too informative, but again, this is something that we all as women deal with. It is no secret, nothing to be ashamed of. It is just something we learn to do. This is information we must pass on to our daughters. I mean, I've even taught my mother a few things, you know. So yeah, you do what works for you, and you tweak things, you learn things, and then you create your own way of doing things. And that's pretty much what I do. And I hope that this was able to help you. After watching this video, there is no excuse to ever smell funky or be unfresh ever again. Later.